So in this question we're looking at Edexcel S1, January 2011, question 5. We're looking at the mean, standard deviation, median and skew. So, on a randomly chosen day, each of 32 students in a class record the time t to the nearest minute they spent on homework, and the data is summarised below. So the first observation is that my data has gaps, it's rounded, so we need to be considering the limits before we even start thinking about doing this question for each one. Okay, so we're asked to use interpolation to estimate the value of the median. So we need to work out where the median is first of all, and we do that by finding our cumulative frequencies. So my median is the 32 over 2, which is the 16th value. Now you could equally use 32 plus 1 over 2, and that would be acceptable as well in these questions. I'm going to use the 16th value for now. So I know that my median is in this group. So the easiest way of doing this, I think, is to draw a picture. So we're going from 39.5 to 49.5. That is this group here, bearing in mind that we need to use the limits, not the boundaries. Okay, and I know that the median, what I'm looking for, is somewhere between them. So we think about 39.5 as being the 14th value. We think about 49.5 as being the 25th value. That's these two here. And I know that the median is the 16th value. So the way interpolation works is we're going to do m minus 39.5 divided by the width of the group, which is 10, must equal 16 minus 14 over how many there are in the actual group. Okay, so by demonstrating that formula, you are now getting yourself a method mark, or any rearrangement of that formulae. The 11 is very important, the 39.5 is very important. Without those, you do not get the method mark. Okay, so rearranging this, we get m is equal to 39.5 plus 10 times by 2/11, which, if you've looked at the formula in the textbook, that's what you would end up with using. Okay, and that gives me 41.3. Now, if you'd use 16.5 instead, okay, you get an answer of 41.8. Okay, so you get an accuracy mark for getting to the end point there. We're then told our summatives, that speeds things up, and we're asked to find the mean, and we're asked to find the standard deviation of the time spent by students on their homework. Okay, so the mean, first of all, the mean is equal to the sum of t over n, which is 1414 divided by 32. Okay, and that's going to give me a value of 44.1875, so anything that rounds to 44.2. You only get 1 mark for that calculation, and it's a B mark in this particular case. Your standard deviation is equal to, now the square root is really important here, so sum of fx squared over n minus the sum of fx over n squared. That's the formula that we want to use, and of course we're interpreting this as your sum of fx squared, and this as being your sum of fx. So this is going to give me the square root of 69378 divided by 32 minus 1414 over 32 squared. Now yes, this is x bar squared here, but I don't like using answers that I've calculated, just in case they were wrong. Okay, if we do this, we use 14.7. And don't forget, this is where we've used a divisor n. Some of you may have used a divisor n minus 1 and used a slightly different formulae. That's fine, not many, but you will get an answer of 14.9 in that particular case. That's if you've used a divisor of n minus 1 instead of n, where it's appropriate to do so. Okay, so here we get 2 marks, you get a method mark for a correct standard deviation formulae, and you get an accuracy mark for getting either of those two correct. We're then asked to comment on the skewness. So as in other questions, we've been asked to calculate the mean and the median. So the mean is 44.2, the median was 41.3. I'm using the standard values that we've got here, and we can see that the mean is greater than the median. Okay, notice I'm putting them in alphabetical order. That's because my inequality is now pointing to the right in the positive direction. So this therefore implies that we have positive skew. Okay, so again, it's a clever marking here. You get B1 and a dependent B1. So the B1 is for stating your reasoning, and your dependent B1 is for stating how it's skewed. So just saying it's positively skewed will get you no marks. Okay, you must have an idea there. Now, if you'd messed up your calculations for the mean and median, you can still get both of these 2 marks as long as it's correct based on what you have done.